What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. This is part number 2 of number 122 of the number 1 fucking podcast in your subscription boxes right here on YouTube.com. This is Off The Script. Thank you guys so much for joining me on Saturday morning. We got a lot to go over, and yes, we will be covering the Jerry the King Lawler story right here. I'll give you my brief opinion on everything, which is not much to add to, what's already been said, but we will discuss it, being that you guys have fucking raped my Twitter account. Talk about it. So, there obviously isn't any other story going on right now, especially with a pay-per-view that's as big as this. Jerry the King Lawler suspended by the WWE for domestic violence. So we'll talk about that right here on Off The Script. Like I said, thank you guys so much for joining me. If you missed part 1 of Off The Script, Money in the Bank 2016 preview and predictions, going over the full match card, news, some news, I don't know if it's important to any of you, but it's news regardless. Sheamus and Apollo Crews apparently was on the pre-show. I didn't know that upon recording my review, or preview I should say. Review will be after the show. Upon recording my preview, and now that match has been moved to the main card, and as well as Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler, they've been moved to the pre-card, and WWE added 2 other pre-show matches, which nobody's going to give a shit about. Makes the pre-show even look worse, if you ask me. The Dudleys versus the Lucha Dragons, and then you got Fandango and Tyler Breeze versus Goldust and R-Truth. That's your pre-show. So if you're missing the pre-show, I'm telling you right now, no need to rush home from whatever you're doing. If you're leaving work, if you're leaving the bar, if you're leaving your fucking girlfriend's house for a quick fuck, I don't know. Don't rush yourself. Take your time. That's all I gotta say about that. Anyway, listen, it's Off The Script, man. It's exactly why I call it Off The Script, man. Seriously. If you don't know that by now, I don't know what the fuck you're listening to. Anyway, let's get into this, the typical bullshit. Let me go over my fucking notes, because there's so much shit I gotta go over. I tend to forget sometimes. Anyway, the most important, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Now, I just added this yesterday, and this will continue on for as long as I'm on here, and as long as I'm on Patreon, man. Every time I have an upload, this is very important, for everybody that has pledged, it doesn't matter if it's fucking $1, it doesn't matter if it's fucking 50 cents, okay? Everybody that has pledged monthly to my channel, you guys are going to get everything right out of the gate early before everybody else. Everybody else, man. So this episode of Off The Script, this was available for everybody that has been pledging monthly to my YouTube channel. Seriously. The night before this goes up, you guys are getting it early. So that is one of the newest perks now for Patreon, man. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be Call of Duty. It could be Off The Script. It could be an iTunes podcast. Everybody that has pledged is getting first dibs on everything that I do. Then you guys on YouTube and wherever else this is going up, you guys are going to get it after the fact. But the pledgers and the Patreons, you guys are getting it first, man. So thank you so much to everybody continuing to make your pledge worth it. And again, nicknames, t-shirts, those will be rolling out very soon. Nicknames I should have by the end of tomorrow for part 3, so make sure you look forward to that. But thank you guys to those who have pledged so far. Some of you even raised the pledges after I announced that you guys are going to get content early before everybody else. I appreciate it, man. You guys make my day. Seriously, I love each and every one of you, and I appreciate that you're with me on this journey. That's patreon.com/JD from NY206. T-shirts, barbershopwindow.com. Link is in the description if you guys want to get the official merchandise of not only me, but Off The Script. Roman Reigns, you got the Big Show, you got the Get Off My TV Squad, versions 1, 2, and 3. You want Goon City, that's available, and they're all top sellers. Especially Roman Reigns, Get Off My TV version 3, the top seller right now on Barber Shop Window. Make sure you guys go and get your t-shirts today. I got big news regarding t-shirts and prices. very, very soon. Just waiting for official word from Ryan, the CEO of ProWrestlingTees.com. So make sure you guys go check that out. Twitter and YouTube, follow me and subscribe. JD from NY206. Always appreciate your kind words and the non-trolls. So make sure you guys check me out on Twitter. I'm tweeting all day long, especially during the pay-per-view on Monday Night Raw and NXT and all that. Follow me on there. Might not get back to everybody, but I am on there and I read everything you guys send me. That's JD from NY206. Same thing with the channel. I don't know what the fuck you waiting for to subscribe, man. I seriously don't. JD from NY206. And as always during a pay-per-view, especially a big one like this, we got Wrestle Rumble. WrestleRumble.com. You guys can win $1,000 cash. I kid you not. $1,000 cash for first prize. And if you guys guess the winners correctly of Money in the Bank, you have an excellent shot at winning some great fucking money on Father's Day, man. It's going to be fucking awesome. How to enter, you go to WrestleRumble.com, you gain entry, you buy in, and then you enter, you pick out who you want to win, you answer the questions that they send you, and you are on your way, man. And if you get everything right, you have a legit chance of winning $1,000. That's WrestleRumble.com for the Money in the Bank pick'em. And finally, we got WrestleCrate.com, the #1 pro wrestling-based subscription service delivered to your front door. Use the coupon code JDSENTME for an instant 10% off your first purchase. That's WrestleCrate.com and on Twitter at WrestleCrates. All right, man, here we go. Jerry the King Lawler. Biggest story that happened on Friday amidst a pay-per-view weekend. Jerry the King Lawler, and before I even read anything, everybody's fucking coming at me. Oh, JD, does this mean Corey Graves is going to be on SmackDown, man? Listen, if I was booking WWE, Corey Graves would have already been on SmackDown. He would have been on Raw, never mind SmackDown. But yes, this does open up the door, and I wish they'd get rid of fucking Booker T. Guy's fucking just awful to listen to. Seriously. Should not be anywhere behind a fucking announcer's desk. And I mean that with the most respect possible. I mean, I love Booker T, but as far as a voice for a brand, please, just put Mauro Ranallo and fucking Corey Graves behind the desk. And just make SmackDown your must-see show. I guarantee you the ratings will come in after the draft. I'm telling you right now, after the draft, SmackDown is going to be the #1 brand. Fuck a Raw. You might have the fucking most episodic television show on fucking Earth. I don't give a shit about anything episodic. The fucking saga I have with your sister every fucking Wednesday night is episodic. Fuck Monday Night Raw. SmackDown is going to be the place to be. And it's live. So I'm telling you right now, get ready for SmackDown to overtake and dethrone Monday Night Raw. I'm telling you, I swear to God, I can't wait for it to happen. Just by the amount of talent that I think I'm fucking, I'm mulling over the talent that could be over on SmackDown. Gonna be great with Ronaldo live and possibly Corey Graves if they want to fucking take a risk, which they've, been afraid to do for the longest time. Take a goddamn fucking risk. And I'm pretty sure Corey Graves can do both. Put him on SmackDown if they want to take a risk. But yes, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what WWE's plan is. Obviously, they love the three-man booth for whatever reason. I have no idea. I don't think Booker T and Mauro Ranallo are going to coincide very well, 1 and 2. They need somebody else there. They need somebody, a little bit more, professional, and who knows what the fuck they're talking about to complement Mauro Ranallo. Jerry the King Lawler, at least, is still competent in that field. I don't think Booker T is right for that role. I never thought he was a good announcer, period. But I'm not going to make this about who I think is a good or bad announcer. Jerry the King Lawler is not there, so it does certainly, if the WWE wants to, go down that road, they certainly have an idea there for Corey Graves to be on SmackDown, if they want. I'm not sure if it's going to happen. I haven't heard anything. And the only thing that I have right now, this report is the absolute latest information on Jerry the King Lawler. Police charged pro wrestling icon Jerry the King Lawler and his girlfriend with domestic violence after an incident in their home in East Memphis, Tennessee last night. or on Thursday night, rather. It's Saturday morning. I'm recording this Friday. It's going up for the Patreon, so this happened on Thursday night. Last night to me now, but when you guys see this, it'll be 2 nights ago. The WWE responded this morning, again, Thursday morning, by suspending the former professional wrestling champion, okay, and current TV commentator indefinitely. A WWE Hall of Famer, Lawler, 66 years old, was a color commentator on WWE Raw for 19 years before he brought his irreverent microphone talents to SmackDown. The King won title belts in the AWA, WCWA, and USWA promotions, although he was never a WWE champion. Love how these reports just try and go over his fucking accolades before getting into the fucking terrible news of what one of these old-timers did. You know, nobody gives a shit about what he did, okay? He hit a fucking woman. Or there's domestic violence against his fucking girlfriend. Alright, so that's the main thing here. Fuck what title belts he's won. This is a statement from WWE. WWE has zero tolerance for matters involving domestic violence, and per our policy, Jerry Lawler has been suspended indefinitely following his arrest. The WWE announced in a statement, cops originally responded to the Jerry Lawler residence on a 911 hang-up call. So obviously, before I even read on, I knew alcohol was involved, because how can you be so stupid to call 911 and then hang up on 911? You don't think they're going to fucking respond to the phone call about what's going on? Oh, the Lawler residence is fucking playing phone tag with the police. What the fuck is going on? So obviously they're going to show up at the front door. According to the Memphis Commercial Appeal, things had gotten out of hand between Lawler and his girlfriend, Lauren McBride, 27. I'll tell you this right now, and I mean this wholeheartedly. Stay away from Lawrence. They're nothing but fucking scumbag pieces of shit. First-hand experience. According to an arrest report, when police arrived, McBride told officers that she and Lawler, who she has lived with for 5 years, got into an argument that turned violent. McBride alleged that Lawler held her against the kitchen counter and then hit her on her left side of her head and pushed her against the stove. Maybe he was upset that she burnt the fucking chicken that evening and that she didn't make his favorite vegetable side dish. I don't fucking know what the hell's going on right now. So there's a scuffle in the kitchen, according to the report. She alleged that Lawler went upstairs and retrieved an unloaded pistol that he put on the kitchen counter and told her to go ahead and kill herself. Lawler told police that he and McBride argued over her lying about where she had been. Well, maybe she was out having some fun. And Jerry the King Lawler, you know, he was home worried. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Truth hasn't been out yet, but there have been phone interviews. He told officers that the argument turned violent when McBride allegedly scratched him in the face, threw a candle at him, and kicked him in the groin. So, pretty much, McBride is taking wrestling lessons from Hulk Hogan. Scratched him in the face with an eye gouge, threw a candle at him, threw some hot wax on him, and then kicked him in the groin. Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan, one of the others, or Roddy Piper, all three of them. Those were their signature moves, man. Eye gouge, kick to the groin. So McBride, taking lessons from WWE Hall of Famers. He said that McBride was intoxicated and allegedly that she was the one who brought the pistol in the kitchen after getting it out of his garage. So he grabbed the pistol, she grabbed the pistol, which was unloaded. So we got back and forth fucking stories here. So we don't know what the fuck's going on at this point. Cops reportedly were unable to determine who was the aggressor in the domestic dispute, so both were taken into custody about 1 a.m. on Thursday morning. They are currently in Shelby County Jail pending a Monday court appearance. No bail has been set, so Lawler and Miss McBride are in prison. They're in the jailhouse. In a jailhouse phone call, Lawler told WMC Action News 5, among other things, that his girlfriend, fiance, allegedly had too much to drink at a friend's house while watching a basketball game, presumably LeBron James and the NBA Finals with the Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors Game 6. Sometimes, when she overdrinks, we get into a little bit of a shouting match. Don't you fucking hate that? Seriously, don't you hate that? When you're dating somebody and you fucking hate going out with them because you know that when they drink, they're nothing but a fucking asshole. Seriously, I know you guys probably are dating someone like that now, or have dated someone like that in the past, or for the females watching me, have dated a fucking douchebag who drinks too much and just gets violent and gets like a fucking asshole. I fucking hate that. I fucking hate it. And it really deterred me from going out and fucking drinking too much and having fun and letting loose. Because, you know, when they start drinking more and more and more, they start bringing up old fucking memories, and they start bringing up fucking past experiences. They start bringing up your fucking past mistakes. They make you feel like shit. They ruin your whole fucking evening, and then you want to do nothing but fucking throw candle wax on them. Right between the fucking eyes. Just like Miss McBride did over here to Jerry the King Lawler. I fucking hate that. So, if there's one thing you can agree on here, especially me, is that Lawler says sometimes she overdrinks and gets into a bit of a shouting match. That's him being nice with the fucking news reporter instead of saying, yeah, she's a total fucking cunt when she drinks, and I fucking hate her when she drinks. That's all that means. Seriously. I guarantee you that's what it means. And I know you guys have fucking suffered the same situations before. I know. Because I have. Anyway, moving on with the fucking story. I don't know where this fucking off the script is going, to be honest with you. But this is what we do here, man. This is what we do. He claimed Lawler downplayed the incident, insisting that no one was hurt, and denied any physical contact with Lauren, despite what she was doing in the police report. Despite what was contained in the police report. Lawler also claimed in the phone interview that his girlfriend allegedly got into a fist fight with her aunt last week as a result of intoxication. So last week, she was with her aunt, whoever, and got into a fist fight with her. Apparently, due to intoxication. Boozing. According to the WWE, Lawler and McBride both face charges of domestic assault, bodily harm, and a misdemeanor. The King has been a WWE employee since 1992. Jerry Lawler, who bounced back from a September 2012 heart attack in Montreal live on Monday Night Raw, rose through the professional wrestling ranks in the 1970s, making a name for himself, first in Memphis before moving on to Mid-South Wrestling Circuit and various other promotions, as alluded in this report. Lawler famously feuded with comedian Andy Kaufman, blah, 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 blah. The King is perhaps the best known, or is best known for his 1982 feud with comedian Andy Kaufman, that blurred the lines between what was legitimate and what was staged in professional wrestling, the Bleacher Report added. Who gives a shit about the Bleacher Report? Anyway, that's the end of the report. That's all I got. That is the very latest on Jerry the King Lawler. If I hear anything else, I will let you guys know. And, don't mind me poking fun at certain instances. It's all ridiculous. It really is all ridiculous, man. Obviously, the truth is not going to be let out. Jerry the King Lawler is not going to say exactly what happened. His girlfriend's not going to say exactly what happened. He brought out the gun. She brought out the gun. She scratched him. He pushed her against the stove. It's the same old shit, man. But all in all, the King right now suspended. I don't know what WWE is going to do as far as an announce team goes. They may just sit with a two-man announce team. They might be thinking that this is going to blow over. I don't think the King's job is in jeopardy at all. He's been one of the most loyal and one of the most, I would say, well-respected and well-liked entities in WWE. And WWE has had previous incidences with domestic violence. I mean, Goldust, Scott Hall, he's in the WWE Hall of Fame, and they put him in the Hall of Fame. X-Pac, we all love those guys. Stone Cold Steve Austin, This is just something that happens, man. Mistakes are made. Too much drinking leads to fucking stupidity happening. Jericho, there was incidents with Jericho and him being a paid WWE employee several years ago due to drinking. There was public intoxication. down in Georgia, I believe the incident was. Whatever the case may be, I don't think Jerry the King Lawler's job is in jeopardy at all. So, calm down with WWE trying to replace him. He's done his thing there, and I don't think he's going anywhere. This thing is going to blow over, and it's going to be forgotten by the end of the month. That's just my honest opinion on it. People fucking make mistakes. This is not an Adam Rose situation where he was already suspended, and then he got into a domestic violence dispute with his fucking wife, and that added on top of what he already did in WWE. And WWE decided, you know what, we're going to cut him loose, which was fucked up, but they did themselves, I'd say they saved themselves because they didn't know where this was going to lead. And they didn't want that burden on their payroll. With Jerry the King Lawler, I don't think Jerry the King Lawler has really ever been involved in something like this. I mean, he's known to, to drink, and, he's known to go after young women and this and that. But that's the same thing with everybody. Everybody that age, the Ric Flairs, the Jerry Lawlers, they all do the same fucking thing. But this was in his home. There was too much drinking going on. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Like I said, it's going to be forgotten by the end of the month. And it's nothing to really report. It's really nothing to report, man. All in all, we're human beings. We make fucking mistakes. We make fucking mistakes. That's all there is to it. Hopefully he gets back. Hopefully he's in good spirits when he comes back. And I don't want to see him lose his job over something so fucking stupid where he lost his train of thought. He's at home with his wife, drinking, they're having a good time, one thing leads to another, and then things get out of hand. Guns are getting involved, police calls are getting involved, and WWE had to make the right PR move here because they had to suspend him due to their policy. Zero tolerance for domestic violence, domestic disputes. So they suspended him for the time being to make themselves look good, and then when the news comes out and things get resolved, then he will resume work. That's just my opinion on this. I don't think Jerry the King Lawler is going anywhere, but right now SmackDown is down one man on the announce team. Whether that means Corey Graves gets the job on SmackDown right now as a fill-in, maybe test run him with Mauro Ranallo, I don't know, man. It certainly sounds like a good idea, but we'll definitely find out in the next coming week, okay? Shinsuke Nakamura staying in NXT through the brand split, expected to have an NXT title run like I knew would happen and should happen. It is amazing to see the changes that NXT has already undergone after the post-WrestleMania call-ups and debuts that have occurred in the past few months. The thing that is really crazy is NXT is about to undergo even more drastic change because it's being reported that NXT is going to be raided, and I'm not talking about getting 6 guys together in Destiny and going to fucking do King's Fall. I'm not talking about that kind of raiding. I'm talking about WWE and Vince McMahon fucking picking like fucking candy in a shop, Whoever the fuck they want. Oh, Nakamura, I'll take him. I'll take a few Finn Balor's. I'll take some Baileys. So that's what's going to be happening. They're going to be rated for the brand split. And 6 talents are being penciled in for the main roster. However, it is being reported by Cage Side Seats, take this with a grain of salt, not really a reliable source, that Shinsuke Nakamura will not be one of those 6 wrestlers to move on to the main roster in July. The report is claiming that Nakamura will most likely be getting an NXT Championship title reign before he comes up to the main roster. That makes sense, because the friendly feud that has begun between Nakamura and Balor seems to be the last stop for Nakamura before he makes it his mission to become the NXT champion. The expectation is Samoa Joe will be the NXT champion this summer, so we're most likely headed for Joe versus Nakamura. That's a great matchup, but it's going to be even more interesting to see what the rest of the roster will look like when that time comes. Nakamura presents them with another surefire star who could easily soften the blow of the loss of Balor as he makes his main roster debut. And by the way, before I continue, for the goons who say Finn Balor is not going to be a superstar on the main roster, I don't know who you're talking about, or if you're mistaking Balor for Heath Slater, but there's nothing about Finn Balor that does not reek of superstar. The guy is a fucking bona fide superstar. The guy who Vince McMahon is very, very high on, and you know how he feels about tiny dwarves, is what he calls them. The fucking goats of, the goats like the Daniel Bryan, the small, compact wrestler. Finn Balor fits right into that category. Guy's a fucking amazing at what he does. So he's going to be a bona fide fucking superstar. 34 years old, yes, but he is the future of where WWE is going with this new era initiative. So Finn Balor is going to be a future WWE champion. Mark my words. So Joe and Nakamura, it's a great matchup. We're going to see it. I figured it would happen at Brooklyn. It's not happening right now. Nakamura versus Balor will be on that show, and that will be the last stop for Nakamura. Like I said, Nakamura presents them with another surefire superstar that could ease the blow of Finn Balor joining the main roster. At the conclusion of NXT TakeOver the End, Triple H conducted a Facebook Live session where he alluded to Nakamura getting a shot at Samoa Joe's title sooner rather than later. However, the latest NXT tapings might indicate Nakamura and Balor may be squaring off next. In any event, the Balor and Samoa Joe rivalry is over. That much is for certain. If Nakamura and Finn Balor face off at Brooklyn, the delays for Shinsuke's call-up will be even more if he's to run with the belt after that. As been the case with a couple of occasions in the past, it begs the question whether the NXT Championship helps or hinders a star waiting for their promotion to WWE. This is not something that's hindering anybody. This is a business move that makes the most sense, that is most logical. You do not, and I understand what WWE wants to do with the brand split, and they want to make it big, and you can't make it big if you don't have NXT and the fucking superstars of the future there making it big. I understand the Balors and the Baileys and the Nakamuras and the Joes and the American Alphas and the Revivals. I understand that. But it's not going to hinder anybody. It's not going to hinder Nakamura from getting his shot on the main roster. It's not going to hinder Joe from getting his shot on the main roster. It will come. These guys aren't going anywhere. They're going to go. They're going back to TNA. They're not going anywhere. Once they had a taste of NXT and they understand what WWE is trying to do, they're not going anywhere, man. They're making the money. Their name is bigger and brighter than it's ever been in their career. They are not going anywhere. Okay? This is not hindering Nakamura in any sense of the fucking word at all. You know, Nakamura deserves a run with the NXT Championship. And like I said before, this is a good business move. If you pull a Balor and a Nakamura at the same time for Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, who's going to be the face of that company? It makes no sense. Balor is getting the call-up. Nakamura, you keep him down there till the end of the year, and then you debut him around WrestleMania season. That is a little bit more understandable, and he deserves a run with the NXT title because he's been working his fucking ass off, and he's already in 2 of the best matches on WWE television for 2016. He's only been in the fucking company for 3 months. Give me a break. It's not hindering anybody. Nakamura will be NXT champion. Nakamura will be on the main roster around WrestleMania season, and he deserves a run with the title. That means Joe is going to get the call up first. As soon as he loses the title, Joe's coming up. That's my prediction on that. But you cannot pull Nakamura and Balor at the same time because you will not have a face to replace Finn Balor. And the only one who can replace Finn Balor or even come close to it is Nakamura. Nakamura, serves that purpose, especially with the NXT brand on tour and touring around the United States. They need a face to showcase as the number one guy. Nakamura has all the credentials for that. It makes sense. He's staying. He's going to win the title. In my opinion, Nakamura will not be with the main roster until WrestleMania 33 season. After Joe loses the title, we'll see Joe on the main roster before the end of 2016. That is just my opinion on that. Summerslam will be 4 hours long. Are you fucking kidding me? You didn't learn your lesson from WrestleMania 32, right? SummerSlam's going to be 4 hours long, but this instance might be a little bit it might be a little bit easier on us because with the call-ups and the brand split and the fucking draft, we might get a legit 4 hours of non-stop action in Brooklyn. With WrestleMania, everybody was fucking hurt. They pieced together a fucking a WrestleMania card with fucking super glue and Band-Aids. Give me a fucking break, man. It was a fucking disaster for 4 hours. 4.5 hours, whatever the fuck it went. Jesus Christ. It was awful. It was legit fucking awful. And you guys know that for a fact. SummerSlam's going to be a little bit different. Everybody's back from injury. The draft is going to make things feel a little bit more important. It's going to be fresh and exciting. And hopefully WWE knows what to do with 4 hours. I know what to do with 4 hours. I know how to book 4 hours of SummerSlam if WWE gave me the fucking choice to do so. But hopefully they know what they're doing. But SummerSlam right now reportedly going to be 4 hours long. Last year it was announced that WWE's greatest show of the summer would be 4 hours long and rival WrestleMania for time. SummerSlam is infamous for being the second biggest event in WWE during the calendar year, but it seems that last year WWE set up a new tradition for SummerSlam this year as well. According to a report from WrestleZone.com, this year's SummerSlam on August 21st will be 4 hours, and WWE has already begun to send out emails informing the WWE Universe that the event will begin at 6 p.m. Typically, a pay-per-view kickoff show would begin at 7, and then from 8 to 11 would be the actual pay-per-view. But this year, SummerSlam will have a pre-show from 6 to 7, and the event from 7 to 11. That's 5 hours of fucking wrestling. Holy shit, for the people that are in attendance, that's a lot of fucking wrestling over a span of 3 days. 2-hour TakeOver, 4-hour SummerSlam, 3-hour Raw. Jesus Christ, that's a lot. It was recently reported that many WWE pay-per-views could go over the 11 o'clock hour, so it's possible that the event could even go past 11, depending on the performances, match times, and other factors. 4 hours is a very long time for a wrestling pay-per-view, but it's going to be the first for the company after the brand extension. Therefore, many new stars from NXT and the main roster will get their first experience with SummerSlam. It's going to be a massive evening, no matter what the card is that night. Like I said, SummerSlam will be a little bit easier on us with the brand and the draft and the brand extension and all that. We're going to have everybody back from injury. WWE should have absolutely no fucking excuses to give us 4 hours of top-notch, unforgettable wrestling. There's no reason why SummerSlam this year should not be booked as the biggest and greatest SummerSlam of all time. 4 hours, SummerSlam, Brooklyn, New York, August 21st. And finally, guys, we're going to end it with this. This could be, WWE's talking about 2 pay-per-views per fucking month with WWE in this brand split. And I already ranted on Monday Night Raw that this is not going to be something that's going to be good for everybody. Seriously, that didn't go over too well with the first brand split. WWE, again, not learning their goddamn lesson. Okay, this could be one of the pay-per-views that is set aside for a specific brand. WWE could be bringing back WCW's Clash of the Champions. The upcoming brand extension is going to need a lot of WWE Network specials and pay-per-view titles to keep going. It's very likely that many titles and shows of the past will be brought back to after the WWE in July after this draft happens. It's revealed, or it was revealed a short time ago, that WWE's planning a pay-per-view for both Raw and SmackDown every month, which means there are going to be a lot of interesting shows being brought back from many years ago. While you're at it, bring back the fucking King of the Ring and Halloween Havoc and Bash at the Beach, and differentiate your pay-per-views from having them look like fucking second-rate Monday Night Raws. Please. I would greatly appreciate that, Vince. Thank you, and have a good day. Okay, so WWE talking about bringing 2 pay-per-views per month, one for Raw and one for SmackDown. According to a report from RingsideNews.com, WWE recently applied for the trademark for Clash of the Champions for a potential show or even merchandising for the future. This news has led to a lot of speculation that after the brand split, WWE could potentially bring back WCW's Clash of the Champions show for the network as one of the specials for a particular brand. There hasn't been a Clash since August 1997, when WCW ran the final edition of the show. The rights to the show are currently in WWE's hands, and all 35 editions are available on the WWE Network. If you're interested, there is a lot of great Ric Flair on those shows, as well as a ton of amazing stuff from Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. You may be interested to see some very young, Stone Cold Steve Austin as well. You guys know how I feel about the 2 fucking pay-per-views. It is overkill, man. It is really fucking overkill. And this is going to be, they could certainly make it work. You got your big 5, okay? You got your Royal Rumbles, you got your WrestleManias, you got your SummerSlams, you got your Survivor Series, and you need to bring back a 5th. You got to bring back King of the Ring. I don't give a shit what WWE does. They got to bring back King of the Ring for the summer, okay? It's got to be in June. Bring back the King of the Ring. Give us a full fucking tournament on the pay-per-view. 8 men, like the old school, like Bret Hart did, and give us a fucking King of the Ring tournament and make that your 5th and biggest pay-per-view of the year. Fuck this gimmick shit, Hell in a Cell, Money in the Bank, fucking TLC. Get rid of this shit. Get rid of it. Put Money in the Bank back on WrestleMania. Give me King of the Ring in June. I'd much rather be watching a King of the Ring than a fucking Money in the Bank on Sunday. I will tell you that right now. And then in every month that there is not a big pay-per-view, so that's 5 months you got big pay-per-views, in which there'll only be 1 pay-per-view per month. Okay? There's not going to be another pay-per-view on top of WrestleMania. There's not going to be another pay-per-view on top of the Royal Rumble. So in February, March, you got April WrestleMania, May, June will be King of the Ring. July could be Bash at the Beach, right? And you can make some other shit up. WWE can bring back their old pay-per-views like Armageddon and Bad Blood or whatever the fuck they got back in the vault. They could make it work. They could make it work. But the one thing I am worried about is overkill. Overkill for the brands. Overkill for the fucking product. There's going to be so much wrestling that I don't know what to do with. And the fact that the rosters, they need to fit the criteria and the mold of a pay-per-view. Back in the day when the WWE draft happened, what happened to the SmackDown-only pay-per-views? You had your main events, you had your Lesnar's versus Guerrero's, and what happened after that? There was absolutely nothing on the show of any interest. It was fucking jobber versus jobber for 2.5 hours until you had your Lesnar and Eddie Guerrero square off in the main event. I mean, give me a fucking break. This is what WWE wants to go down? This is the road they want to go down again? I don't want that to happen. And I don't think the WWE rosters are going to be able to handle 2 separate pay-per-views. I don't think so. One pay-per-view is enough to have both brands on the show. You got half SmackDown and half Raw. But then again, it brings up the point and raises the question, it's not going to get everybody on the show because you're going to have half Raw and half SmackDown. How many fucking matches are you going to have on a pay-per-view? You're going to have 3 matches, 4 matches, instead of giving them their own shows and letting everybody shine. This is a fucking... WWE could possibly be floating up Schitt's Creek right now. Seriously. There's a lot that needs to go into this. A lot of executive decisions need to be made. A lot of common sense and logic needs to go into these decisions, man. If they fucking start, fucking letting shit go, and they start making decisions on the fly, as if it's rush, it's gonna fucking fail before it even begins. And the only thing that's gonna be great about it is for guys like me and for guys like Joe, who are gonna have all this speculative content and fucking news videos and podcasts and shit to talk about. We're going to be raking in, man. We're going to be getting the views. We're going to be getting the subs. People are going to be fucking knowing, listen, I'm going to go to these guys for WWE. Look how much fucking content they got. So that's the only thing about it. But as far as the WWE thing, I'd rather they fucking have shit set on their end. I don't give a shit about how much I'll find content to do. There's always content for WWE. I'd rather the WWE be right and make things right on their end. 2 pay-per-views, certainly overkill. WWE thinking about bringing back Clash of the Champions. We'll see what happens with that. So I don't know what's going to happen. We'll find out in less than a month. In less than a month with this brand split and this draft that's happening on July 18th. That is WWE Off The Script, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, hit that thumbs up. I'll be back with more news on Sunday. Money in the Bank Sunday, and it's Money in the Bank weekend. If I hear anything else regarding the pay-per-view, I will make a separate video on the pay-per-view itself. Look forward to that. I also got another video going up today, WWE 2K17, my top 10 NXT superstars that should be in the game upon release. It'll be going up around 4 p.m. this afternoon. For you patrons, it'll be available around 12 noon. So look forward to that. Thank you so much, guys. I'll be back on Sunday with more great WWE stuff. And as always, I'm JD. This is Off The Script, the #1 fucking podcast right here on YouTube.com for everything WWE. I'll see you guys on Sunday morning. Have a great Saturday, and I'll talk to you then, man. Take care.